That's what we said. When you're like, oh, we're ready.
And then you should be able to close that window out next, like, there you go. Good job. Good to go.
All right, good evening, everybody. I'm going to go ahead and call this meeting of the Charles City Community School District to order. If we could have the roll call, please.
President Kebrick,
Here.
Vice President Mack,
Here.
Board Member Dr. Schroed,
Here.
Board Member Fox. Here. Board Member Yeager. Here.
We'll move on to the reading of the district mission and vision statement. Dr. Mack, please.
Our mission to challenge all students to achieve their full potential through engaging, responsive educational experiences that inspire innovation, critical thinking, and collaboration. Our vision to develop learners who are competent, compassionate problem solvers.
You. I will take a motion for the approval of amendments of the district.
I'll make a motion to approve the agendas as presented.
Second.
Been properly moved and seconded. All those in favor state aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion will carry. We welcome all our visitors this evening and we will take public comments. Okay. First one is Nicole Ashley.
Good evening, everyone. I am here about the imposed e-learning snow days. And I am greatly opposed to this. I understand the state has allowed this. I understand that it is a benefit to some extent. I would highly encourage you as a board to look at next year, taking away some of the spring break. We don't need 5 days of spring break. We don't need 10 days of winter vacation. We certainly do not need extra days off if we have snow days. And the most commented thing I saw on Facebook was, well, it's going to interfere with people's vacations if we go into June. Don't plan your vacations for June. Plan them for the middle of June. Well, it's going to interfere with spring break if we take break days away. Okay, if you choose to plan a vacation for spring break, you choose to plan it for a time where you know your student may miss some school. Same thing with winter break. It is absurd to me how COVID did not work. E-learning did not work. We are asking students to be present for 20 minutes of each one of their core classes and to do additional work. Find the time at school if your internet's not reliable. Download it at school. But then your teachers are only going to be responsive twice a day between 10:30 and 3. That is not sufficient. If you are expecting the students to be present 20 minutes of each one of their classes, there is no reason why those teachers should not be present during those classes. And saying, well, they have 2 days to make it up. Great, they have 2 days to make it up. What about the parents that have jobs? What about the elementary parents that still have to go to work? I most certainly don't get a snow day when it's deemed a snow day. I still have to go to work. It is not fair to your students to expect them to do things that the educators are not expected to do. It's simple. If we are going to ask the students to be present 20 minutes for each class and do X amount of work and turn it in, that teacher should be present for each one of their classes to turn it in. I would highly, highly encourage you to take a look at the calendar next year and put some snow days in on Christmas break and spring break. Thank you.
Is there anyone else that would like to make public comment? Seeing none, we can move on. We will go to the good news. Dr. Schilling?
No.
We're gonna go with Michelle Dolman and the FFA.
we put our slideshow up here? Okay.
Maybe.
it has to be linked to the broadcast. So. What do you want, how do you wanna do that? Do you wanna,
Can we do it over there?
you could show it there, but then people can't see it at home. So would you like, you wanna email it to me
Sure
or
can.
share it with me and I can display it on the
Sure
screen
can.
for people at home?
You guys gotta come up here so they can see the fancy corduroy.
Oh, they will. They're so excited.
There you go.
You guys find there was some sarcasm in that.
Was there? I mean, I.
Can tell. Can tell. You only get to wear them so many times a year. You gotta show it off.
I mean, I had her name on it, so it's kind of a big deal.
Are you gonna wear it again?
Did you get it, Dr. Burnett?
No, they're ready.
I couldn't do it.
I was reading if you could change the color, pick a different color, could you do like late?
Got it, Lauren. Here.
No. I do say that.
Nice if we had a winter attire and a summer attire, because when you take them to Washington and they're wearing that. It's,
Yeah, if they had the polos for like the summer, that would be a lot nicer.
So couldn't you guys like recommend or suggest that?
We could, but it'd be a very long shot because there's so many FFA members and they get so many suggestions and like.
I just hit the
buttons that
maximize
they
in
wouldn't
one way.
get to them.
That seems like one that everybody would be like, I can get behind that, because that affects me directly when I go to Washington or, in the summer.
Yeah.
When I'm out at the fairgrounds and I want to, wear my buffet attire. But,
It's still showing over here,
Yeah.
okay. Yep, You're still live.
there we go.
There we go. Thank you. Perfect.
Oh, you starting now? Okay, hi, my name's Aubrey Michael. I am a senior here at the high school. I currently hold reporter for our office, our chapter office. I currently have my chapter degree and my next contest is public speaking.
My name is Bryce Walker. I'm a senior and I currently hold the office of president for our chapters. And the next fall, I plan to attend Iowa State and major in turf grass management.
Hi, I'm Isaiah Watkins. I'm a freshman. I currently hold my green hand degree and my next contest is creed speaking for our chapter and I will be running for office.
Okay, so kind of our overview, we had 13 members travel this year. And obviously our two FFA advisors have to go because we're all a little crazy.
we have to drive.
Yes, and we need drivers. There was over 70,000 other members at the conference. There was 51 states there in attendance. It kind of is weird because there's only a couple people from Hawaii, and there's only a couple people from Mexico. So you get to experience kind of seeing a little bit of everyone from every state. So it's kind of a cool experience. And then that's kind of our overview of our dates, but we'll go more in depth. So our sessions, we attended a session each day from Wednesday to Saturday. Wednesday, we had our public guest speaker. Typically at a convention on the first session, they do a guest speaker. His name was Eric Johnson. He was a very fun guy. He had a very fun, positive attitude and was just the brightest spirit in the world. The big thing that I took away from that session is he had an acronym HATERS. And bear with me, it's having an attitude towards people reaching success. So that was probably my favorite thing that I learned from him. Thursday, so if you want to go to the next slide. On Thursday, we had 4 members walk across the stage for 2 different chapters. We had ours, and then we had for another chapter, because they kindly asked us to go. We accepted the Star Chapter Award. What did we talk about? What was the other thing that they had during that session?
They also announced the finalists for the National FFA Talent. So through different states at the state competition, you're allowed to, they do a talent show. And if you win your respective state, you move on to the national level. And then they pick between the 50 or 51 different talents there. And then they announce the winner, but they announced the finalists at that session and then had a few of them perform.
Next slide. So this is from our Saturday session. We watched the American degree session. And towards the end of the presentation, you'll also see the newly elected national officers. So, but we watched two of our people from a couple years ago. They graduated and they accepted their American degree, which is the highest degree you can accept in FFA.
So Braden Quaid was one of them.
And then Natalie White.
And then Brady Frost was also the other person we got there. National degree.
And on Friday, we watched Brady Frost accept his American Star Finalist Award. He went against 4 or 5 other people.
Other people from around the nation, for Star Farmer, in the nation. And, sadly he didn't win, but he was one of the 4 finalists, so.
This is a good experience. So another thing that we did was workshop. Isaiah and I here, we went and sat through the power of questions. In that one, it was a lot of breaking down, how do you ask a really in-depth question? How do you get to know the person more than just asking what's your favorite color? It's asking a more in-depth question to get more of an answer out of them. And then the other titles or the other names up there were all kinds of other ones that they gave. And like all of those ones, that's not all of them, but like they would repeat them. So if you didn't make it to one and you decided you wanted to go to that one, you could go to it a different day. And like the big thing about the workshops is they give out pins. I didn't bring mine tonight. I'm kind of sad I didn't, but like me and him got a star. They hand out different pins and there's pins at different ones. And like they have challenges all throughout like convention. And one of them was who can collect all the pins. Because then there was like a big pin at the end that you could receive if you collected all of them.
And then moving on, we also throughout the week, we had the opportunity to go to the expo and the shopping mall. So inside the Indianapolis Convention Center, they have 2 larger rooms. One of them was the expo, which was kind of like a college and career fair. They had a lot of different colleges from around the nation there. They also had different businesses. I know some of the popular businesses there were like Domino's, Culver's, because they were handing out free food, but they also had a lot of agricultural businesses too, like John Deere, Case, they had Pioneer, Corteva, Caterpillar. They had a lot of different agricultural brands there that had booths too, handing out free stuff and just teaching FFA members about the opportunities that they have in their company. Some of the different colleges that they had there were Iowa State, Minnesota, Tennessee, Texas A&M, just from all around the country. But it wasn't just like major big schools too. They also had Kirkwood and they had some other community colleges from around the nation. So it wasn't just like a thing that larger colleges go to. So it was really a cool thing that you could go to and just learn more about. And then at the shopping mall, they had a bunch of different booths for different stores. They had like the FFA mega store. They had I know Ariat had a booth.
Wrangler.
Yeah, there were a lot of different businesses that had their own booths there selling stuff. So if you wanted to go there and get your own stuff, you could. If you see the picture up at the top left of the screen, that's where they had the National FFA Talent Competition. So if you wanted to go watch them give their, because there were only the finalists that gave theirs in front of the sessions. If you wanted to watch someone do theirs, you could go watch it. But it was just a lot of different opportunities there throughout the expo and the shopping mall that you could have done to explore.
And with the expo, kids could stop and you saw some of the girls with flowers. You could do, they usually do leather making. They're just so many experiences. I mean, there's lots of picture opportunities. I think there was a lot of bull riders there were.
Yes.
So the kids could get pictures taken with bull riders. I mean, you name it, they were probably, you could probably find it somewhere at the expo. Isaiah, what were you gonna share about the expo?
Just that, like, you could go at any time of the day. You could go to any other one. There was more than 360 different businesses and colleges. You could go up to any one of them, ask them like certain questions, like And then like for the colleges, you could go up to the colleges, like they will ask you like questions on like, well, like what do you want to major in, or like where are you from, like, and then you could get like contact info to them, and then you can like receive emails from the colleges like telling you so and so on like what you want to major in and stuff, and I just thought that was pretty cool.
While we were there, we did 3 educational tours. Our first one was to Purdue University, and that was specifically their engineering department. So here's some pictures from when we went. My group was the one that's a little bit higher. We went around campus, so both groups did similar things. We didn't see some of the things that the other group did, but they just showed us different classrooms, different labs, different machinery that they use there, and told us a little bit about the curriculum. Told us what we would have to do to get into Purdue, and it told us like, what was it about? It was more what they do once they get there. Showed us different facilities, like they showed us their library. They showed us
Their tech labs.
yeah, a lot of their like smaller classrooms, so they were more one-on-one with the teachers, and showed us some bigger lecture halls too. So it was just a large variety of stuff that they have.
I think that one group of kids we went by, it just was the whole side of the building was all in the same class, so they were all interactive, working.
And like the cool thing about it is they would ask us questions about like what we do of it here at the school, and they were like connecting it. So like it made sense to us, and they were, oh, well, this is kind of connected to this class, like power structure tech, like this is kind of what you would be doing in this class, and that's how it's connected. Like they were getting to know us, and I think that was the really cool part, is they connected it to us and were like explaining it to us to make it easier to understand.
On Thursday, we went to the Ozark Fisheries outside of Indianapolis. This is one of their 2 facilities. Their other one is in St. Louis, Missouri. And it's just they show like their breeding hatcheries and their shipping department. They ship and breed goldfish, koi, and crawdads. And all their facilities are outside in different ponds. They have 50 different ones.
I think that's what it was, around that number.
But they were like 50 different, like, I don't remember what they said. It was like 20 feet by 20 feet ponds, something like that. And they were of different breeds of fish. So like they don't do just specifically an orange goldfish. Like they do like different types of goldfish. And like that was a part of the educational thing, is they took us inside and she was showing us different pictures of like the koi fish they do. Because like I think my favorite one when we were learning about it was the butterfly koi fish, because their fins are just so pretty and like, yeah.
It's also interesting though, because they sell directly to the consumer if you would like to do that, but they also ship out their goldfish to national retailers like Petco and some other pet stores around the nation. So it's just a cool thing that they get to do. And then on Friday, we went to the Indianapolis Zoo. It was pretty cool, especially for me. I liked going to zoo. It's a lot bigger than I was expecting, a lot bigger than any zoo that I've been to before. I think we were there for around 3 hours and I didn't even explore the whole thing. So it was just cool though. You gotta walk around, you gotta see a lot of different things. In the bottom right picture, they have inside this one building, they have where you can sit and interact with the chimpanzees in an enclosure and just mess with them or play with them. And then they also have treats in there, like in that pumpkin, they had different treats that they could get. And we went around Halloween time, of course, so it was all like Halloween themed stuff. So they had a lot of different cool things that you could get to see there that you normally don't see at other places.
I think one of my favorite parts was the interactive part. They had like this one big giant room full of like their fish and everything. And they had this big giant pool, and they had sharks. If you look in that top picture, they had sharks and you could touch them. And they had stingrays in there also that you could touch. So like for me, it was really cool because I got to touch a shark, because like who gets to touch a shark very often? And I think my other favorite part was like we'd go off in our own little separate groups. So there would be like a cluster of like 3 of us walking around. Like we always make sure that we stayed in a group, but like being able to stay in the group was really fun. And like it was fun because like Spurgeon would pop in and like be like, oh, this is a cool fact about this animal. Like, and would give us more education to like it walking around. So this is a highlight of the new national officers, if you skip to the next one also. These are kind of just our new national officers, and I think that my favorite part was the old officers. They made the convention a very fun, welcoming place. Like it was a very fun.
Like when they were doing the sessions, they just would talk on the stage and it would just feel like they were just talking in a small group. It wasn't like you were sitting in front of 70,000 people and you were just, it was kind of interesting the way that they were talking and doing, like leading the sessions, but.
Very personal, right?
Yes.
So some of the best moments, me personally, I enjoyed meeting new people and trying new foods. Throughout the convention, we went to different places for people to eat to expand their horizons or learn new things. And Spurgeon Dolman pushed us really to meet new people and talk to new people and form new connections throughout the trip. So I think that was a fun part, especially for me.
Yep. So kind of tying 3 of those together. Opening of the second session, kind of dancing and being able to create the tunnel. So at the beginning of sessions, they host dance parties. They have like their own little like DJ spot next to the stage, and everybody would go around that and would dance. Like we were line dancing and having the time of our lives dancing. And the other like favorite part when they say tunnel is you create tunnels like around the stadium, and the officers would run through them to go up on their stage, and then they would do like handshakes up on the stage. So like being able to be an FFA member, creating a tunnel for another FFA member who's way older than me, has a lot of experience, and getting to just like be surrounded by that was probably my favorite experience.
Again, one of my favorite experiences was just going around and visiting to the different businesses, but also meeting the different people at the expo. Because again, just going around to the different businesses, you meet a lot more FFA members. Like I personally met one from Connecticut. He's a really cool dude. We were at the I think we were at Texas A&M's booth because he came up to me and asked if I could sign his t-shirt for the state of Iowa. And we just got to chatting a bit and found out we had a lot in common. So just meeting all the other people was really fun, but just going around to the expos and getting some of the free stuff's also kind of cool too.
And then we got some quotes from other FFA members who went. Here is one from Riley Quaid. She was a freshman, and this was one of her first FFA events she went to or experienced. So kind of paraphrasing, she just said it was really cool going to the sessions and just walking into the massive Lucas Oil Stadium and just feeling the energy and feeling what the officers were throwing out in the sessions. It was really cool just experiencing all that and just showing what FFA can take you and you can do in it. So.
And then Devaney, she's a sophomore this year. Her favorite part was not only going to the convention and being as a chapter, but we got an Airbnb, so it made it a lot more like we could take the time to be with each other. We weren't in separate hotel rooms, so we could come together. We had a couple game nights where we kind of played games and like we're just in each other's presence, and that was her favorite part of being at convention. We want to thank you guys for letting us come and present our experiences and our educational part of National Convention.
Quick question for you. So can you go back 3 or 4 slides for me? One more. Down. So go forward 1, please. So obviously these FFA members are from all over. How do you get elected to a national office?
So it's a really long process. So first you have to get elected to state office, which is you do, I know for Iowa specifically, you go down to Des Moines and you do a week-long interviews. And then if you get selected to be balloted, you then have to give a speech in front of different people at your at the state convention in Ames. So like if When Taylor did it, she was up for Central Region Vice President. So she gave a speech to a certain group of people of delegates from our region. And then they voted between her and a different candidate. And then if she got elected, she would serve as the state. And then after the year, so the year after she is done serving as, or they would serve as a state officer, they then get picked as they go through a selection committee from that state. And then if they get nominated, they then go to the national section of interviews, and then it's an even longer process for the interviews. And then they have to give a speech from delegates, and then they vote on it, and then they are the last thing introduced at the end of convention I think it's literally the last thing that they do before they
Saturday.
end session. It's on the Saturday, but that's just a list of the different new officers that got elected.
Are they
while
high
we
school
were there.
students or college students?
They're mainly
Typical
college
college
students.
Right, first or second year.
Yeah,
Because state is normally kind of juniors or seniors of high school, and then after getting out of high school, so say that 1 year process, then you'd be like a freshman. sophomore.
Mhm. Thank you.
Thank you.
Very nice.
Dr. Schilling, did you want to talk about the grant?
Yeah. I can write that. I just came from leadership literacy meeting, and that's why I was late with getting it out. I think that shares a lot of the key points of the grant that we received as a sub-grantee. The Comprehensive Literacy State Development Grant is basically a federal grant the state of Iowa received at the end of October. It was $24 million to the state of Iowa for the next 5 years. As part of that, 28 schools were awarded 3.8 million in the initial sub-grant awards, and Charles City was one of those 28. So right now we are in the first year of this grant, which is the planning stage. We just met with our support provider. For part of the grant is that you have to hire a literacy professional development organization of some kind to help you develop your district literacy plan. So we just had our first meeting tonight with our district literacy team to approve that, because the plan has to be turned into the state to get approved for the next 4 years of funding. So they're assuring us that our plan will be viable and meet the expectations of the state. So what is shared here, like I said, the grant will focus in this first year on planning, also around the district literacy team plan, but it will also focus on professional learning for teachers. That could be just ELA teachers, that could be teachers across the board in all content areas. And it also will look at reviewing the curriculum, which we're implementing a high quality curriculum, but it'll also help us continue to implement that with fidelity and review it as we move on. As we move into years 2, 3, 4, and 5, we can use the grant funding for continued curriculum resources, intervention resources, in any essence we would like to. Okay. But it basically is helping us approach literacy instruction at a systematic level. The goal is based around the state's literacy plan. The state has their own literacy plan for improving literacy across the state. So the grant is based on that. And some of those goal areas you'll see at the bottom. We'll focus on obviously including improving reading achievement, but also focusing and targeting those subgroups of students, for example, that we're targeted in with our ESSA designations, students with IEPs, EL students, students of color, those types of things. Do you know why we were chosen? We were chosen, because we put it in application. Lots of times they don't get grant applications in, to be honest, but it was based on, our current population, distribution of diversity, our subgroups, the sizes of our subgroups and our achievement scores with our subgroups and our achievement scores overall. Free and reduced lunch.
Not being as high as,
And free and reduced lunch was up.
so do we know who the other 28 are?
It's on the state of Iowa website, yeah.
And will like they create a system to like collaborate with each other? Or is that everyone's kind of isolated in there?
Actually, the service provider we have is providing the same services for like 5 of the other 28 in the state. So we met as a leadership, well, I should say the whole leadership team. Joe Carney and Chelsea Moon and I met at the state level with our service provider on Tuesday with other districts there, like Keokuk is one of them. Spencer is one of them. So we got to collaborate with some of those teams from those districts as well.
And this is my other question. So if the state of Iowa got 24 million, and they're giving out these $3.8 million grants, where's the other 21?
That's for a 5-year period though, too. This is what the state of Iowa was.
So it's 3.8 per year over 5 years?
3.8 for the initial year. They got 24 for the 5 years.
Oh, so it'll be like a 5.
Yeah.
So we'll get a chunk of money each year.
They're projecting that we would get, because we got about $95,000 for the Charles City according to our population. They're projecting we'll get it that or maybe a little bit more for each of the subsequent years.
So do they have specific outcomes that we have to meet for a year to get the following year?
Professional learning time, the use of high quality instructional materials, which I think you're going to be seeing from the state in all content areas as we progress. Obviously, student achievement.
Do we have to reapply every year?
We have to reapply just one more time. They will review and critique every year. But again, with the support they're giving us with the service provider, I think they're assuring that those service providers do their own training with the state, so they know exactly what the expectations are for the districts to help us get there.
Well, he's doing that.
Good job.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Thank you.
Okay, we can move on to examine financial accounting books for end of 2025 fiscal year.
Yeah, so the end of FY 25 ended on a positive financial note. Looking back compared to FY 24, we were close to $3 million less in expenditures, which a majority of that was we didn't fill several teaching positions, so that was a lot of it. 80% of the general fund is salaries and benefits, so a big chunk of it right there. So yeah, we are continuing to head in the right direction with declining enrollments. We'll just keep watching the expenditures and that as we go. If you have any questions on those reports? No, it's just to examine.
Okay, just examining.
Just-
Yep. No action.
Okay, and move on to acceptance of abstract of election. Recommendation for the board to approve the abstract. Make motions.
You do the motion for this then.
Yep.
I'll make a motion to accept the certification of election.
I'll second.
And properly moved and seconded. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, we can proceed to vote. All those in favor, state aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion will carry. I will now take a motion for the adjournment of the annual.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Been properly moved and seconded. All those in favor, state aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. We're adjourned from the annual meeting. You can now call to order the regular meeting And we can take a motion for the consent agenda.
Make a motion to consent agenda is,
Second.
Properly moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. On to the administrator, director, and superintendent.
So we're wrapping up our community stakeholder survey. We'd love to still get some more numbers. So we're going to meet with the team tomorrow and talk. We continue that survey a little longer. We have about 260 responses from our community communication survey. We also added some feedback on the bond, trying to get information from the public as to what we could do differently, or what were the main factors and why people maybe decided not to support the bond. So we are getting some good information. It would be great to have a few more individuals respond. So if anybody hasn't taken it yet, please encourage everybody to take it. We've sent out multiple emails. It was in the paper. I handed out flyers at Rotary. I visited with the community center. And so we have been reaching out, trying to get more participation. So we welcome feedback through that. That means we're getting a lot of good feedback, but we just love more feedback on that.
Dr. Brennan, how many did you say you have so far?
260, so it is a little smaller. We also tried to do some convenience surveying where we inside of the basketball programs, we put a barcode to read to try and get some extra numbers. I believe when we had the 700 responses for the bond, the former bond, I think some of that was, we also had a parent teacher conference in there. I think maybe we captured some more people through the parent teacher conference. And we don't have that currently at this point in time to capture some of those that have been better. So anyway, we'd love some more feedback. We'll talk tomorrow with AEA, who's helping us with that strike. And just to see if maybe we keep it open a little longer to try and get more statistically significant number. I mean, every number has a certain statistical significance. It's just your reliability is better if you have a larger number.
Brian, one thought I had on that is, do we ever partner with like other entities in Charleston, like the Commerce Post Facebook page, or like other, just to kind of extend the reach that maybe.
I did bring it up with both Chamber of Commerce groups, and and then I don't know if they retweeted it or published it onto their Facebook pages. I know we did have some reposts from different groups. Not specifically sure about those two, but I do go to both the Chamber and the Main Street Partners meetings when they have those. So that I can bring that up, especially if we extend it, see if we can get a little more traction. Chamber specifically was pushing it out to all their members though, because I did send a special one to them. So, yeah, any other good ideas, we'll continue to try and reach out and boost our numbers. Some other great exciting news, Charles City Robotics team, and Josh, correct me if I'm a little off, but the robotics team distinguished themselves in Cedar Falls. Third year in a row, we won the overall competition, I believe. And we had a team that took second place. So for the robot competition specifically, I believe we took second, and then we had a team take fourth, sixth, eighth, and ninth place. But overall, we won the competition. And so we really, in some ways, kind of were the dominant or swept the top 10 in many ways, with great work from our students and also some great work from the IC students that come to us. So a lot to be proud of there. The kids just did a great job. So. In addition, our girls wrestling program had a great outing at the Dan Gable Donnybrook, which is just kind of fun to say. That's an Irish term for kerfluffle, maybe a little bit of a scrap. And so they did a great job. Sophia, who also goes by Gab, Pepito, she's the third ranked in the state currently, and she finished the Donnybrook in second, which has regional competitors who come in from all over, and so that's fantastic finish on there. Also, the boys wrestling team, I believe, has almost a full team, so that's fantastic growth. They've got a lot of positive energy. They're really doing a good job and improving constantly. Boys basketball and girls basketball both have a nice group of kids out there competing and doing a good job. So a lot of fun things to come and watch. Also this week, I forgot to put in my in my notes here, but we also have upcoming, I believe, a middle school, choir concert, tomorrow. So, make a chance to go to that if you have an opportunity, that'd be great. But lots of exciting things happening in December, lots of kid activities, and it's a good time to be a comet. So.
Very good. Good. We can move on to the board committee reports. We had facilities and finance committees. Facilities committee, we discussed capital projects for fiscal year 27 and 27, 26, 27. And then finance committee, we discussed the 5-year projection model from ISBIS workshop. So.
I would say one of the takeaways from the 5-year projection model, to piggyback on that, is that, we're in a great shape right now. We did save $3 million in expenditures, based on being really smart when people, left the district. We, didn't replace some of those positions in FY 25. That's the prior year, because we just closed the prior year's budget. We also shifted people from coaching positions back into the classroom and did a lot of smart moves like that to save funding, and insurance savings also helped us. So the 5-year projection is good, but with declining enrollment, it does, in a couple of years, we do start to lose significant revenue. So we have to be mindful of that and make sure that we're staffing appropriately, class sizes that are appropriate for the number of kids we have over time. So we're going to continue to monitor our staff numbers and student ratios carefully so we can stay in great financial health.
Did you have anything to add?
No.
New business items. We'll start with an update from our food service folks from SFB.
Yes, hello.
Hello.
We have a little hangout for everyone. Sorry. Just wanted to introduce myself. My name is Sunny. I'm with SFB, 5 years in the company. I am a senior GM located out in Minnesota. I do the Wisconsin, Iowa area. We just hired on Diane, who is actually the GM here at this location. I know that there's been a couple of changes throughout the years, but I wanted to at least assure you guys that I'm here to stay. So I'm here to make sure that we can make things better and look forward for the future. And so a couple of things that we highlighted this year for 25, 26 was that we did a Thanksgiving feast. I know we did it last year, but this year we wanted to really touch base on the kids that really enjoyed the meal. As you guys go through the pages, we got some thank you letters from the kids. We are looking forward for more of like a scratch type cooking type deal. So we are asking for feedbacks, asking for surveys from the kids to actually really entice that meal program. And I know we have our faces, right? We have the pizzas, the chicken tenders, the pizzas that we do, but at the same time, it's like, how can we entice the kids? What do we want them to try? And so partnering up this year for January, we're looking to partner up with the home ec team for the high school here, or the FACS team, the schools with KD, and making sure that we can actually do like an education for the kids. A show and tell, teach them how things are, how it's grown from the farms, and then how it's processed, and how we're able to make things happen. So that's when you get to the last page, like the moving chef. And so what we did, what I done at the Lakes Academy was that we were able to incorporate that with the farmers, FFA team in our area, and teach them how the tomato is grown, what it's used for, ketchup, tomato paste, spaghetti sauce, pizza sauce, and being able to do a roving chef so that we can actually teach the kids how it's processed, how it's made, and then us as our cooks team will actually cook the food and they'll actually get the pizza in-house or in the room. So we do want to incorporate that for this coming January as well, so that we are going to be able to educate that for our kids here. And then our meal that you guys actually had out here today, it is a national school lunch program. It is certified. That is something that we're going to be incorporating starting January. And then every other quarter we'll do something special as well. So like this year we did the Thanksgiving dinner for November. So in January we'll do more like a pot roast type deal for them. Different flavors a little bit. I know that there's a little bit more of the enhanced flavors here, but we're gonna go back to, again, the basics of what it is, making sure they're perfected so that, again, I wanna make sure that the kids are actually enjoying the food, but not just eating it and then it's like, well, it's okay. I wanna make sure that, wow, what are we eating for? How are we seeing the increase in numbers like in middle school right now? We've increased the middle school numbers for breakfast by 15% from what I'm seeing from last year's numbers to this year's numbers. Lunch numbers are about 4% increase for the middle school and then 2% increase for the high school. So what are we doing that's gonna capture the business? Changing, listening to the kids and acknowledging it. And so now we also have Diane here, who is here to stay. And her being on the floor, boots on the ground to ensure that we can capture every single thing of what the kids are saying so that we can make a difference for them. Without having an actual proper GM here, again, that's where we kind of see the fluctuation of like the meal counts, the fluctuation of staffing. And so we want to make sure that we hit it out of the park this year and make sure that we're actually keeping track of what we need to do here.
So, yes, Diane, are you just our school or do you do other schools as well?
So I am primarily Charles City School District, so
Okay.
that would be your high school, middle school, Washington, Lincoln, as well as some things with the Immaculate Conception.
So this is something I've brought up a bunch of times this year, so I really appreciate you guys come up and share this. This is great. So I was part of the group, I think some other, actually maybe Catherine was, because we did this contract a couple years ago. And one of the things they talked about was the roving chef at the time, so I guess that just maybe just hasn't happened yet, and so.
Correct. Okay. And with me being here, like with FFA, the Luau, we've been here to be able to help out with them last year. And so it's just the process of what's going now is that I'm all about making sure it happens. We're coordinating with Mariah to make sure that we can actually make this a go, make sure that it's actually gonna happen. So it's not empty promises that's gonna be there. It's actually gonna be happening.
So the other one that comes up, so my son is in seventh grade, and this is very specific to me, but he says that, like, they have a rotating lunch schedule, and the last group in the specific in the seventh grade seems to run out of options, and then there's no extra food at that time. So I unfortunately have not been able to go, and I've talked to Dr. Brown a couple times, and I just haven't made it. So I'm curious, is that still the case? Do you know, or has there been a way to offer, fruits and vegetables or something for the kids who are so hungry? Yeah.
So what I have viewed is at certain times, one side will run out, it is available on the other side. So and there's certain options because they give them more than the one option. And unfortunately, we can't always look in our crystal ball and say, 50% is gonna take this one, 50% is gonna take that one, so it's kind of a guessing game, and if 75% swing over here to take it, then what we do need to do is go over to the other side and grab from that other side.
Because there's two.
It is usually, from what I've been seeing, is we'll run out on one side, but there's plenty of it on the other side.
So they just have like two lines.
There's two lines, yeah, there's,
Yes.
basically, when you come to the middle of the
So,
pathway,
yeah.
there's the left side and the north side. I think that's really,
Yeah.
like, I
Yeah.
see, I do notice that as well as like. If you're with your friends, and it's like, okay, here's 20 of us going this.
Yeah.
On this line, and there's like only 10 on going on the right side, and it's like, well, maybe we should communicate between each other, and that's where Diane's gonna be
And,
on
yeah.
site to
Mhm.
actually.
And this
see
is
that.
where they just have to pick up the phone and say, hey, can you bring this from this side over to us? Because we're starting to run short. And we have done that, and Sunny has done that too from the high school, taken items to the middle school.
So we are taking every measurement and ensuring that we have the production records so that we are not gonna be running out.
Yeah.
So to answer your question, Josh, yes, we do see it, we do see the trend, and we're gonna fix that trend, and we have been adding more to it. So for now by 15, we're gonna do 25. We're not gonna make 50 extra, but we can pull from the high school, we can pull from the other location of the middle school to make sure that both sides has enough. That's it. And then with that being said, that we have that like a 3-minute gap period where we can coordinate with each other as well to fix that issue as well.
And do you have a system then if like kids, let's say they all want the pepperoni pizza, for example, we're running out of pepperoni a few days, a few times you bring it up in a row, you're running out. So then do you go back and, okay, we're gonna do more pepperoni and a little bit less of
We
the,
boost our numbers.
Yep.
For the next service that we have that or item.
Yeah, so to answer both Dr. Bryan, your question and also Josh as well, that the statements that, yes, we have a production record that we've been keeping track. And we run out, now we're actually moving forward to making extra more. So again, if we made 20 for the day, now we're gonna make 25. So that, again, if we don't use the pizza, we can put it back in the freezer. Again, so the whole process of it is that I don't wanna have kids, the first class have everything, the second class has some things, and the third class is like, what happened? That's not what we're looking for.
No,
Our
and
goal
we-
is to not make that happen. So
And we are doing batch cooking. Which means that when the first come through for their service. Then we cook for the next ones. So all of the pizzas don't get made up front, for example. They're batched out per the actual groups coming in.
My preschooler enjoys hot lunches, so. That was always, I didn't know what to expect.
Thank you.
I ate all of the chicken patty sandwich, I ate all of the. She likes the sides, so that's good.
What other questions maybe you have, Rob?
Son loves the breakfast. I know that kind of style or fun. It is always the way.
Well, I appreciate that too, Mr. Bruce.
Unless you want to start sourcing beef from me, then you give me a call.
We could connect. We could definitely connect.
We have a locker appointment tomorrow. Good, thank you.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Have a great day. Thank you.
how are we gonna?
The Unified Champion.
Can you put my presentation up for me?
I'm working on it.
Perfect, thank you. Hi, I'm Tammy Jacobson. I am one of your new special education teachers at the middle school and high school. And while we're waiting for my presentation, this program was brought to me by a parent. Emailed me and she said, hey, have you heard of this? What are the chances Charles City can do it? And the more I read it, the more I thought that not only could it be good for our special education students, but it could actually make a difference in our whole school culture and environment. It's a pretty cool program. We're gonna skip around some slides. So Mr. Burnett, could you go to the next one? If there's 27 slides on here, Mr. Burnett told me I have 10 minutes. I've been practicing it, and I think I'm down to 6.5.
You're fine.
But if I talk fast, tell me to slow down, okay? So Unified Champion Schools is a national movement. It's a comprehensive program that combines inclusive sports, clubs, and classes, as well as creates youth leadership opportunities and whole school engagement for all students. One of the goals of the program is not only to improve inclusivity, but also to decrease bullying, which is kind of exciting. Mr. Burnett, you can go to the next one. Perfect. There are 4 core components. The first one is unified sports. These teams do not join our already playing teams, but there would be additional sports teams. The recommendation is that they practice when other teams are out at games. I'm nervous. Games and events, okay? And then they have to have one competition at least per year. And there are multiple opportunities for that within what we're already running. And then the second core is inclusive youth leadership. So this would be a school-wide club. You need 2 people from each team or from each grade level. One would be neurodivergent and one would be their neurotypical peer. And then you would have as many volunteers as possible. They would meet monthly and they would plan the whole school engagement as well as attend a youth leadership summit down in Des Moines. The third is whole school engagement. We would have multiple school-wide activities based on inclusion, and I have some listed out for the first year coming up. And then the goal is to have a long-term cultural change, creating accepting environments for all students school-wide. It does cost money, but I think it's doable, and we'll talk about that later too. So I put it into 4 phases. Phase 1 this year, just planning, getting our feet underneath us, figuring out what we want the program to look like. Planning our initial activities. Year 2, launching our first sport, our first peer class, and our first clubs. and holding our first school-wide events. Year 3 or phase 3, year 2 would be adding our second sport or more, enhancing our leadership for the students in their club, and then also increasing the whole school engagement. And then by year 3, we can apply for national banner recognition, which is a pretty cool thing. It's pretty cool. So then phase 1, well, yeah. You can skip this one. Trying to skip this one too. We'll talk about that later. Okay, so the sports strategy. We would choose based on student interest. And then the popular ones in Iowa are basketball, track, bocce ball, and cheerleading. I didn't know bocce ball was a sport. I had to look that one up. And then we would have to coordinate with the athletic director. The sport has to be treated like any other sport. It has to be in the budget. The coach has to have a salary or a stipend. Team formation, the coach has to have a NFHS Unified Sports Training. It's free online. It takes 2 hours, and I did it in my free time because I wanted to see what we would be asking the team to do. It's really doable. You have to balance your athletes with and without disabilities. So again, 1 neurodivergent to 1 neurotypical peer. You get the idea. And then you have to have a regular practice schedule. Again, they recommend that you do it while the teams. So like if we do it during basketball season, when our basketball team has competition or a game, then our students will practice in the gym while it's not being used. Competition, you have to schedule games, at least 1 game with a nearby school. We do have one other school in our district. I don't remember what school, or in our conference that has this program. So we could set up our competitions with them. You can schedule games during half times and events. You can participate in all Special Olympics events. And then we can integrate into our school athletic calendar, or we should. That should be our goal for year 3. Mr. Burnett, if you want to go to the next one. So our youth club, the goal is to empower students to lead inclusion efforts through structured clubs, advocacy programs, and then again, to create a lasting cultural change. So the Unified Club would have a monthly meeting with, again, our 2 peers that we talked about. They would attend the youth summit, and then the goal would be to have them advocate and put on some presentations to you guys and the community, as well as other students, and then to plan the whole school engagement activities. You can skip this one and this one. Keep going. Wait, no, never mind. I do want that one, and I want the next one. Okay, so the whole school engagement activities, these are just 2. Special Olympics Iowa actually provides a kit for this first one free. So that would be a really easy one for us to put on. It's a Spread the Word campaign. They put it on during Inclusion Week in March, which is like a national holiday week celebration. They have pledge banner signing events, social media awareness campaigns, and they run a Change for Inclusion drive. So it's like a penny drive. Pretty cool. Again, they provide a kit. The second one is Fans in the Stands. The goal is to have a unified sports event that you invite the whole school to and the community. You provide a student section with signs, and then they recommend having a staff versus student exhibition. And I think that would be pretty cool. I think we have some teachers that would really show up for that. And I think our students would really enjoy that one as well. You would have to have a pep rally as well. You're supposed to treat it like any other team and event. All right. So this is the big ask. It is around $8,000 if we were going to do it all out, but this is doable. Okay. So some of it's optional. We probably don't need end of year awards, but it would be really cool if we could do that. Hotel expenses for traveling, because if we do the Special Olympics events, there are not a lot in our area at this time. So we would have to travel. There is the potential for hotels. A lot of this is based on Central DeWitt's. They have a successful program. They've been running it for over 10 years, and I got to talk to their school liaison about what that would look like. They spend about $3,000 a year on hotel expenses. Transportation, about $1,000 here or there for gas and driver expenses. Uniforming, we do have to have a uniform. We can use old uniforms, we can get donated uniforms, or we can buy new ones. The thing is, you have to have a Special Olympics emblem on them. So some money somewhere. Coaching salaries, as we talked about, I just went onto the Schedule F online and took kind of what I thought would be comparable hour-wise. So I chose level H, that's like the middle school coaches. And then the club leader, it meets once a month, so I picked the lowest one for an estimate. We know that shoes, shorts, and materials are going to be a roadblock for some of our students. A lot of them will not have access to it. So if we could put on a drive or find a way to get those donated or even fund them, that would be really awesome. Eliminate that roadblock. But I know that's a lot to ask. Specialized equipment, we don't know exactly what we would need yet. A lot of it is rentable through Special Olympics Iowa for free, but there's a potential to have some cost there as well. And then for the school-wide events, they said they use about $200 a year for handouts and banners. So about $8,000 a year. That's all right. We have fundraising strategies right here. Okay. Special Olympics will let us use their plunge tank for free. Central DeWitt raises $8,000 a year on their plunge tank. It's $30 a pledge. The class with the most gets to dunk the principal.
I think everybody would do that.
Yeah. I was gonna say, I think that sounds so cool. We can also get a UCS grant application into Special Olympics Iowa and get $1,000 there. We can partner with the community, local businesses and scholarships, you know, the Rotary and Lions, restaurant fundraiser nights like the Pizza Ranch Tip Nights and the McDonald's one. We can do school week or school-based fundraisers, so during Spirit Week, we can do some fun challenges, we can do concession stand proceeds, and then that change for inclusion drive that I talked about earlier. So that's why I think it's doable. We can do it. I believe in Charles City. Okay, you can skip the next slide. And that one. We can skip that one. Okay, so in the presentation, there is a whole bunch of these next step slides for what it would look like. I'm just going to go over this one because this is the most important one. So first we have to designate a district UCS coordinator. That has to be a special education director, a principal, or an activities director. I have talked to Lindsay Stout and she has said that she would be interested in helping us with that. So we do have that option. For the school liaisons, you need one for the high school, one for the middle school. I have volunteered to be the high school. Maggie Lucas has said she would be willing to do the middle school. So we have your two there. We have to negotiate the coaching salaries. That depends on you guys, I think. And then once we have those negotiated, we have to post and find the coaches, post positions, find the coaches. Then we need to submit our final UCS budget to Special Olympics for next year. Start that $1,000 grant, and then we can start actually planning and beginning to put it on our schedule, which would be really cool. So you can go to the next slide. And the next slide, we talked about that a little bit. This is a breakdown of them. I'm not going to go over that because I talked about it a little bit. You can see where I got it from and kind of what I was thinking. You can skip that one. Skip that next one too. We don't have to go over all of the trainings. It would be cool. Keep going. You can go almost down to the end, I think. Yep, keep going. I had to cut it down a lot. Can you go to 26? Way down there. This one. Okay. So Special Olympics Iowa and the Unified Champion Program specifically has this philosophy that inclusion is not just about bringing people together. It's about creating a culture where everyone belongs and contributes. And again, one of their key metrics for success is that we lower bullying in our schools, which I think is really cool. And we do have to report on that every year. That's what the middle school the liaisons would do. We would take data from school participation surveys, all behavior incidents and like reports of bullying, and hopefully we see those go way down. And that would be how Special Olympics Iowa would measure our success, which is pretty cool. And then you can go down to the end, and it's just a thank you for letting me come here and talk. Do you have questions for me?
I guess I was probably addressed on one of the slides. Is this K-12 or 7-12 or what?
So right now, this is 5-12. They do have a banner recognition program and toolkit that we could use to start at the elementary level as well. I figured start middle school, high school, and then we'll expand. We got a few years to figure
Do
that
we
out.
have any idea how many students would want to or would be able to participate in this?
I'm hoping 50 total the first year. That Central DeWitt said that they have about 100 every year, and they've been doing it for 13. So it might be hard at first, but I also believe in our school districts. I think that we have a lot of students who want to do well, and I think we have a lot of students who are looking for ways to engage in our community, and this would be an easy way for them to not only feel welcome and included, but also to have that opportunity to include other people as well as be a leader.
So 50 being the neurodivergent or half that?
So is it any type of disability or just
Yes.
neurodivergent?
Any type of disability can come on and join us. It's a pretty cool activity.
So from a competitive perspective, you talked a little bit about some other teams. Do you have other teams, you know, because you don't really have a sport specifically picked.
No.
Would that kind of be dictated by what other teams we could play against? So like if bocce ball was a very common sport for the other teams, we'd be like, hey, let's do a bocce ball.
Yes. As well as student interest, I think we need to figure out what our students are interested in first. I know basketball has been recommended multiple times.
Okay.
So I think basketball would be easy to start with because we can use old jerseys, practice jerseys for our students.
We have the facilities too.
Yes, exactly, and it would be easy. That and cheerleading would be a really easy one to do as well, because then they just have to cheer at 2 of our football games. I graduated from Wartburg College. They actually have the college version of this at Wartburg College. They have their program called Sparkles, which I helped at all 4 years that I was in college, and that is their cheerleading version. So it would be really easy to set that up here too as well.
That kind of exclude boys a little, I mean,
That one boy, yes.
maybe.
Which is why
Well, I'm not saying,
If they
I think they could,
passionate about.
I think
they could, but if my,
I think basketball would be,
Yeah.
that's what I've seen the most interesting in my students. And again, I'm level 3. I don't see a lot of students, but I do see some of our students who would benefit the most from this program.
Would they be co-ed teams?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, so
And we have a great tradition of bowling too. I mean,
yes,
bowling-
and bowling is one as well.
Really good bowlers.
Yes,
Yeah, I forgot to mention that, but our bowlers are killing it right now. They're doing great.
I think this would be great. I know Dana has spoken before about just like the percentage of students involved with things, and I know she's always wanting to get that percentage higher, so. Any avenue to create opportunities.
no cost to the parents.
no, free. Well, our goal would be to be free. Parents can be Class A volunteers. They have to take a training, and then they also have to take a safe adult training as well in case of behaviors. That is a possibility anytime you work with students who are.
So a parent could coach,
A
like,
parent
if
could-
they went through that training.
And I know we have at least 2 parents interested in volunteering. So we got.
Next step.
We just wanted to present it to the board and then get going on this.
Sure.
I was excited about it, wanted you to hear the great idea she had.
Seems like you're very passionate about it.
I am. I'm really excited to see.
They have experience too, so that's great. Yeah.
It's a big part of success.
It's gonna be good. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
I'll be there at hockey practice. Okay.
You should do pickleball, right? You got one that one.
Yeah, pickleball, they're doing pickleball, I'm ready.
Well, I was gonna say, don't we have the space at the. At TLC, oh, no, it's good. I'll just like a cement floor.
Oh, the pool area.
Yeah.
Yeah, the pool area does have space. The lighting's not,
bocce, but.
the lighting's not great for some sports, but yes, for
Need some sand or
Yeah.
feathers.
bocce.
There you go, yeah.
Absolutely.
What's the best one?
Thank you.
Move on to the SBRC application for administrative cost for the Lead Center Consortium.
Do you have any comments on this one, or is it pretty self-explanatory?
So we're a member of the Lead Center Consortium, and this is where students with behavioral needs, this is one of the facilities that helps support our students.
I move that the Board of Directors of the Charles City Community School District approve the application to the School Budget Review Committee in the amount of $5,496.06 for special education administrative costs associated with Lead Center Consortium program for the 2026-2027 school year.
Second.
Been properly moved and seconded. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, we can proceed to vote. All those in favor state aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion will carry. Moving on to section D. Motion to approve SBRC request in the amount of $187,775.50 due to open enrollment out.
I'll motion.
I'll second.
It's been properly moved and seconded. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, we can proceed to vote. All those in favor, state aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion will carry. Move on to motion for the NIAC agreement for experiences.
What about number E?
Oh, I skipped E, I'm sorry. Take a motion for approval of the SBRC request in the amount of $14,254 for EL instruction beyond 5 years.
No motion.
Been properly moved and seconded. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, we'll proceed to vote. All those in favor state aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. That motion carries. Now we can move on to the NIAC agreement for experiences, preceptorship, the associate degree in nursing and practical nursing programs.
So I just have a quick question. There's no cost to this one, right?
No, there is not. Whitney Johnson, I believe. Whitney Johnson, our newest nurse in year 2 now. But she has experience working with a practicum rotation for nurses from NIAC. And so she thought that'd be a great opportunity to get more support and help train future generations of nurses. So I thought this seems like just a real positive.
Perfect.
Yes.
Oh, there should be a recommendation for to approve the agreement.
I'll make a motion to approve the NIAC agreement for experiences preceptorship as presented.
Second. Probably moved and seconded. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, we can proceed to vote. All those in favor state aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Move on to Pear Deck, the high school science license.
This is like a growth need, right? I mean, we just made these licenses.
Right. This is, yeah.
Is this the same as didn't we approve some science curriculum last year?
Yeah, and Pear Deck is more of a tool to share work. So a teacher can have things interact on the screens with students at the same time through Pear Deck. It's a kind of a shared presentation tool, so kids can present through the whole class through Pear Deck, or a teacher can share. So it's just like a more robust tool for those kind of programs. Like PowerPoint was more interactive. People could share and then display and go back and forth. Pear Deck is like that. It's just a more advanced tool. And so it came from the science department, but the license is actually for the whole high school. So 450 licenses for Pear Deck. So all students could then use Pear Deck in the high school and in the alternative school.
But we pay that amount that's attached to the 2,000.
That's right. Yeah.
That's for 1 year?
Yes.
It says, I think one of these 450.
Right. So then everybody in the high school can use it.
So then this was presented, or this was brought up by the science department.
That's where it originated, but the license allows all kids to use it, teachers.
It's something the teachers expressed an interest in.
That is correct. Yep. I've used it. It's a good program.
Pear Deck.
I'll second.
Been properly moved and seconded. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, we'll proceed to vote. All those in favor state aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Next, we'll have the FEH notice agreement.
So do we have like an estimated cost? Because it just has like kind of time and materials and a list of costs per person.
Under AE fee for MODIS study, it talks about, that's a paragraph, second page.
Yeah, not to exceed 10,000.
That's correct. So it's, not to exceed 10,000. He thought between 5,000 and 10,000.
Okay.
Would be the range of that. And then, additional hourly fees, is what it describes for FEH as far as if they're gonna come do extra community presentations or things like that. So you have to have an architect on the projects that have a certain scope and size to them, as we know. And so some of the renovations that became apparent through that bond process, for bathrooms and those kind of things, probably warrants having that architectural lens. In addition, MODIS was not fully finished with the level to implement their projects. And I talked to Matt today a little bit, and he mentioned that peeling off like the switch gear and doing that as a separate thing with Modus. He's like, there'll be things where you don't need me for, and I'm okay with that. So this was the proposal that he wanted to bring forward so that he can help get Modus ready to go, up to speed. And then also help us.
Have we talked to Modus? Are they aware that we're in the process of getting?
Yes. Matt has made them up to speed and aware on that. And they needed some time. So Matt would like to come and do a work session. And I said, we have one already on the calendar in February. So I think that might be a great, well, when the board approves the calendar, we have one tentatively scheduled to be on the calendar then. And so Matt thought that would be a good timeline for a full work session to kind of go through, okay, here's when we can get started on this. For example, the HVAC, which is such a big part of it, that project that we talked about last March. So most of those, which they can't be here in time this summer at this point in time, unfortunately. So we have a little more time. So that's where he thought putting this together with Modus in a more comprehensive manner, coming forward and explaining to the board, okay, here's the options we have on what we can fix for the $4 million. And if we're gonna make
sequences.
Yeah, and then and some of those bathrooms, if we get them up to ADA compliance and have to do a little more of a renovation on those. Then where do we put the HVAC units and how can we maximize all that? So.
That's something, just to update the rest of the board, that's something we discussed in the facilities committee. With the 4 million and moving forward in that, and the HVAC is how we had to use FEH as a architectural firm. Make sure we make code compliance and all that as they put stuff in. And then maximizing the efficiency of that 4 million to
Get the most.
implement it, biggest bang for our buck without doing anything that would hinder a future project or anything of that nature. And then we also talked with Jerry about the switchgear and some of that stuff, implementing that into his annual budget. Because he had extra money, or not extra, but he had a spot in the money that we could use there to utilize that 4 million towards more of the HVAC concerns with inflation issues, so
Switch through the phone.
the electrical, yeah, so we could do that sooner and implement it that way, so.
And Matt thought Modus would be a great resource because they could make sure you have enough power for any future needs. If you do some kind of remodel or renovation, right? Replace it with enough power to meet future needs.
Modus was willing to do the engineering side of
Right.
things where FEH didn't do the engineering, but they did the architectural stuff. That's where we're at with this and why we're asking.
So is it, different than what we did before when they built out the plan just to do this work?
The $4 million plan?
Yeah.
No,
Well,
this is just,
This-
it's still the same plan, it's just Matt is going to make sure that it's not gonna hinder anything and that it meets code.
Well, yeah.
They did the general overview, did the inspection of what we would need. He's just making sure that it's all gonna be plug and play for anything in the future and seeing if the ADA compliance is still gonna be there with what inspections he did as part of our bond process.
Matt's impression was Modus hadn't gone.
Yeah, and I
All the way
I
to
don't
this
remember Modus was, they did the engineering part of it, but I don't remember them being in charge of things like ADA.
Right.
Right, they hadn't done that kind of
Yeah,
work.
so they'll do their part of things, and I think they'll do a great proficient job, but we still need the architects for ADA.
This is
Over a certain dollar amount, yeah, you have to have an architect.
to be able to line
Right.
up the contractor, basically.
Otherwise, Modus would have to hire an architect. We don't know if it's certain dollar amount.
Right.
So.
I'm just feeling like.
We need a motion to.
I'll make a motion that we approve the Modus agreement, FEH Modus agreement as presented.
I'll second.
Been properly moved and seconded. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, we can proceed to vote. All those in favor state aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. That motion will carry. Now move on to the Teach Town Special Education Curriculum Agreement.
So Lindsay Stout is helping with our special education team across all of the district. And she worked with Dr. Schilling on, Teach Town is a tool that really helps, smaller group, our level 2, level 3 students, and you probably know more details too. But our current curriculum is not very robust. And so this is really standards aligned tightly. And I thought with our, authority being really good and the savings that we had recognized, to pay 5 years at once, which makes it this larger dollar amount for a really stronger curriculum piece that has both materials. It's not just all online. It comes with materials and manipulatives and things. So it comes with and maybe you can speak to some of that too, but
It comes with, like, for our essential elements, which is what the level 3 students or most of our level 3 students learn with, we don't have a lot of choices for it. We have the N2Y curriculum, which is really, really limited. And I haven't been able to access it for like 3 weeks now, even with Jen and I emailing them constantly. It's kind of a mess. But this program not only is for that, but it goes up. It has 3 different levels for everything. You can take data in the program. So our progress monitoring would take like half the time, which would be amazing. On top of that, it adapts general education materials to special education students. So my students who might be in a literacy class more for the social interaction and the engagement would actually be able to, like, they do holes in 7th grade. My students would have a copy of holes that is adapted to them in their level. So they could be in the gen ed class and be participating with their peers using the gen ed curriculum, which is so cool. You can also search the gen ed standards in that program and it will find the ones that are adapted to the same level that my student is. So it would make their participation in like the science classes easier as well. It's a really cool curriculum.
so the team was very excited about it. And so thank you for jumping in, appreciate it. But the team was very excited about this program. It really, it would start in January. We would go that quickly. And then by doing a 5-year license, since we had a little more authority right now, a little more cash reserved, we would spend more now. And then if, let's say 5 years from now, maybe we just do 1 year at a time. If finances are a little more lean, we could do 1 year at a time at that point in time. But it came highly recommended by teachers and then Lindsay and Jen.
I'll make a motion to approve the Teach Town special education curriculum as listed.
1 second.
I just have one question though, with all this software stuff that we've been buying, do we have the equipment to run all of it? Are we up to date with hardware that will run this stuff?
So April will have future, refreshes of our devices as she does. So she's got a timeline mapped out for that, but it does, all of this will work on our existing materials.
Okay.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
it'd be nice to know if we're gonna hear about, we need hardware to keep running our stuff at some point.
All the things we're purchasing will run on our existing hardware and we'll have a refresh cycle that will need to replace a certain percentage of devices.
Yeah. Not necessarily had to do with this particular thing, it just occurred to me.
Yep. Good question.
Properly moved and seconded. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, we can proceed to vote. All those in favor, aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Move on to board policy. Just have.
I don't think that should be in there. I think I meant to remove that. Let's table that if we can.
Okay, I'll make a motion to table it then.
Thanks.
Need a second. Properly moved and seconded table. All those in favor state aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Carried. Board comments.
Keep moving.
Comments, I'll make a motion to adjourn the regular meeting.
I make a motion to adjourn the regular.
Okay.
Properly moved and seconded. All those in favor state aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Regular meeting is adjourned. We can now call to order the organizational meeting. We will start with the election of board president.
I think it.
So we have to
secretary
have
does that, and then, yeah, gotcha. I think we'll call it.
I will call the organization meeting to order.
Need a roll call for that, not necessarily.
No, it didn't have to go.
We're on number 19. I'll make a motion that or I would like to move Bruce Gaber continue to be president of the board.
A second. Do we do a roll call vote? I guess we have to do a roll call.
Me.
Yeah,
Yep.
let me just. Oh, are there any other nominations for board president? Okay, we will do a roll call for vote for Bruce as president. Josh Mack,
Yes.
Dr. Schroep,
Yes.
Catherine Fox.
Yeah.
And Aaron Yeager.
Yes. Yay.
You can vote.
Oh, no.
You get a vote,
He gets to vote, yeah. He gets to vote.
Bruce Gabriel, yes, okay.
He can vote against himself if he wants. He gets to vote, yeah.
You- Okay, I will call for nominations for vice president.
Josh Mack.
I'll second.
Sorry, I didn't ask.
Yeah, that's okay.
I just don't
Yeah.
keep it the same.
I'd nominate Catherine Fox.
They're nominated, but you can second it.
Okay, I'd second her nomination.
Then I'll withdraw you.
Yeah, definitely. All right.
The person you nominated is someone who beat it.
I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Mhm.
I think he withdrew Josh's nomination.
Yeah. So I'm out.
He just didn't
Oh,
accept.
Schroep withdrew Josh's.
Or Josh declined, either way.
Yeah, either way.
I can't wait to see this.
Oh my god. I'm gonna need some help. Okay, roll call vote for Catherine Fox. Vice president. Okay. Josh Mack,
Yes.
Dr. Schroep,
Yes.
Catherine Fox,
Yes.
Sounds
Keep it, yeah.
That's nice.
Gary Yeager.
Yes.
That's Bruce.
Oh, no,
Okay, so
no, he withdrew.
He
He
withdrew, yeah,
withdrew.
okay,
It was rescinded.
okay.
These technicalities.
No, that's okay. No,
We're
that's
just gonna say when you
I
do.
appreciate that. You did that. That was very nice. Thank you.
So then do you hand it back over to the board president for the election of the board secretary and board treasurer?
Yes. That is. Mhm.
I'm at the appointment of board secretary. We have to do this.
We do, don't we? Oh, yeah.
Oh,
You need to swear them in, yeah.
yep,
Oh, yeah. So.
I do,
Oh, we're circling back.
Yeah, well, you have to be,
Bruce can't officially,
I do.
yeah.
He does.
you're not gonna say nothing, say that. Yeah, I do. That is a picture of the paper.
Well, there's not gonna be room for a picture.
Okay. That's standing here.
Okay,
Okay, now we're on to. Okay.
okay, so I can just read it.
Yeah. Yep.
Well,
You can do, I think you do them individually. You want to do them individually? Yes.
Sure.
okay. Do you solemnly swear that you will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Iowa, and that you will faithfully and impartially, to the best of your ability, discharge the duties of the office of school board president in the Charles City Community School District as not and hereafter required by law? Okay. Do you solemnly swear that you will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Iowa?
Leave a plate for Catherine.
Leave a couple of plates back there.
We haven't eaten yet.
That you will faithfully and impartially, to the best of your ability, discharge the duties of the office of school board vice president in the Charles City Community School District as not and hereafter required by law.
Yes, thank
For the secretary and treasurer.
Thanks.
Danielle, do you solemnly swear that you will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Iowa, and that you will faithfully and impartially, to the best of your ability, discharge the duties of the office of school board secretary and treasurer in the Charles City Community School District as not and hereafter required by law?
Yes.
Move on to set the 2026 board meeting dates.
I'll make a motion that we approve the school board meeting dates and the school board work session dates as listed.
Second.
Been properly moved and seconded. Is there any further discussion?
I appreciate Dr. Schroeder with us monthly.
Me too.
Please know, we also set the time for the work sessions to match at 5:30.
Right.
What these people.
Then we're at 5.
5:30 is better.
Great.
There's no further discussion. We can proceed to vote. All those in favor state aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. We'll designate official source of legal publication.
Make a motion that the Charles City Press will be our source for legal publication.
I'll second.
Been properly moved and seconded. Is there any further discussion?
Should we make Travis with this something was right? Whatever you're gonna do. Yeah.
All those in favor state aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Designation of legal counsel.
I'll make a motion that we appoint Alex and Cooney PC attorneys on the legal counsel.
I'll second.
Been properly moved and seconded. Any further discussion? All those in favor state aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Committee membership and assignment.
Do you have a question? Does anybody want to do something different than we did last year?
I'd like to do facilities.
So would I. All right with you, Bruce?
You guys want me to step down?
Agree, but then we'd have to have a meeting.
Yeah, we have to set or whatever.
Yeah, I know,
I guess
well,
I-
and yeah, that's them all anyway, so it's whatever you'd like to do. So
What's that?
we post them all the
Right,
all the time anyway,
Right.
so
So you could have 3 on there.
Good, good.
we can legally, yeah.
That's all right.
Go for it.
Yeah, that's better to me.
So we're adding
Anybody
one.
else got anything else you want to do? You still want to do the other ones you're listed on here? Josh, the negotiations, compensation, that,
Yeah, and the conference board, yeah.
okay,
I mean, Catherine does policy, she reads them all, tells me what I should do, just like a really good,
No, Renee doesn't. I'm fine with everything.
Darren, do you have anything? You're fine with? Yeah, all right. So that would be it.
So we're just adding
Josh
1,
to the
2.
facilities.
Correct.
And everything else will remain the same. I'll make a motion that that's what we do.
I'll second.
Been properly moved and seconded. All those in favor state aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same side. Motion carries. Any further comments from the board?
Great here.
Yeah. I really
You're here.
went to the robotics thing, it was really awesome to see, there was a lot of really exciting. At that event. So they're going, they get, the 7th-grade team gets to go to state, and I was talking with Mr. Nyberg. I think he was hoping that we're gonna do like a pep rally for them before they leave on, but I think they're gonna have a 6 to stay the night before, because the event's in Ames and it's all day, so.
When is it?
So it's February 7th at Iowa State University's College of Engineering. It's at the aerospace building.
Yeah.
I got to go last year. It's kind of beautifully this out here. It's really neat to see, so. If you're looking for something fun to do.
Steve, keep coming for our meeting. Thanks for being here.
Motion for adjournment.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second. Probably moved and seconded. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
You're adjourned.
You can be a regular with Christine and Jack. We now have an audience. We now have a forum.
Two reasons, I was gonna be here anyway, but then Isaiah being part of the FFA for the presentation, so.
Yeah, it's one of the teachers. That's all I get.
Really nice job.
So it wasn't.
It sounds like, let his girlfriend do all the time.
But at
Is
the
that why they're
minimum,
dating?
they would apply to everybody by.
Do they do it this freshman year?
You only get.
He's a part of it.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
He started, so that started in like last was certainly the year. I'm gonna be like, doing like a recruiting, but.
They don't allow you to do up to 5. We haven't used any.
We don't use that.
No, we've not used none of these. So this is in lieu of
A whole lot.
making up a stuff. And so.
We got pushed out. This company that started.
You can see the progression from like freshman year to sophomore, just like they just become.
There was a lot of.
Something goes thinking
I
you're.
put it in a couple
right, like, you're-
updates that it was coming. And then I pushed it
Yeah,
out.
so like hearing like freshmen.
Larger group, after talking to all the
in front of
principals
people, and
and
then
the
like,
communications people,
There we go.
and then it
So lots of
lined up a
separate,
little bit
okay.
on the community chat. And
Do that for me?
And I would say it was pretty split. There was quite a few that were supportive of the idea. Right.
It's not like, hey, it's somewhere.
I would say in the conference, most schools have this as an option. And so, because we also take some flack where
Wait for your siblings or your mom.
take a day that was scheduled for kids not to be here. They kids have to be here. And then people don't always show up because they have, the attendance drops. So you fixed it. But I don't, we can definitely, we can calendar next year and build in a couple more student days and take 2 of the teacher work days off. And then drop this all together in one. For this year, I think it's a nice option.
The ceilings,
So we're not,
like between, like in the sheetrock or?
It's necessarily.
Well-
Cracks along there where there was wire path, so.
right, right.
This has anything.
Okay.
But yeah, it's.
Right.
I was gonna catch up.
No, it's not a direct connection.
You just need to.
I don't argue.
Yeah, I know.
Person's bad.
It's just.
Well, I mean, I don't think you can ever say 100% it's perfect. I think that he fixed the issue. So if it comes back, like, so we know, I absolutely get, for sure. I appreciate you letting me know, yeah. How's Dave?
Or teachers that I know.
Yeah.
Myself, my first name itself.
Dave,
Call.
how's Scott?
Okay.
Yeah, that's his ox.
Yeah.
Good.
Now, I, like Joe the other day, you can have Joe. Actually, please remind me all the time.
Yeah.
Check during the frequency.
Right.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, kind of right by my stairs.
Oh, sure.
Just heard.
The box thing. It's just every time I walk up in there, because.
Right. Oh,
Well, it just wants you to know that it's there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's letting you know.
Feeling like it's just, you're taking.
Other than that, yeah.
No big deal. Glad to hear. Yeah.
I'm gonna leave
Right,
that,
right.
usually let me know that's. Best way to balance all of this, but.
I just thought we were gonna switch to 4-day school week and every time we have a snow day, you're gonna come on
Yeah.
that, on there.
I'm not in Florida.
Getting
2 weeks. Well, Christian's going.
a thing for the kids
For 4 months.
Yeah.
She's not coming back in May?
oh, okay.
You're gonna keep without her for a while at a time.
Oh, okay. Okay.
That is.
Work,
Yeah,
It's a long time now.
yeah, I go back and forth,
right.
Sure.
yeah.
This is my kid's athlete.
But still, like, that's
We only miss this time of year.
a long time to be like a
Couple
master.
things
for a
in-
while. I mean, think about the longest places you've been.
Sure.
So.
45 years,
Yeah.
I should get you like.
What do you even do?
You know, even though like you're not.
Work. you now, right?
You know, they get so big something.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, well,
Yeah, she's the only one that's emailed that I got. So I did check spam. I'll keep looking.
I'm sure you've got ways that you can figure out how best to deal with that.
I just want
We
to,
can add more days to the calendar too for next year. That's fine.
if we need to.
For students, yeah, more person days.
Bruce, thanks. Yeah, see ya.
I'm gonna come
See ya.
tomorrow.
Okay.
It's the most full. So this presentation was very similar to.
Okay.
In the last 6 months, there's a lot of that. With things, things. that, But it's up for RFP, right?
I don't, that's not the way it reads, no. It's a multi-year deal, we're not done this contract. So, yeah. We can pull the contract. and let-
Yeah.
We'll send you a copy.
Right, I mean, okay.
You probably have one somewhere too.
Well, no, Pat was the one that would have signed it, so.
Okay.
I thought it's not a 3-year.
Continuously rolling, what do we look at?
Yeah, I think it was something to do with continuous or something, but
We have to give certain date or whatever does. Oh,
yeah, I don't know.
I kind of thought it was a 3-year contract too. when
We'll
they
look and see.
Started up.
We'll look and see.
Yeah, I'm not saying you're wrong, I just wanna understand. What our options are. I'm not saying we should be, but I just.
Yeah.
understand what the contract says.
We'll get it. We'll pull it. We'll make it know right now.
Oh, what time's the concert tomorrow?
7. Thank you.
7? Where?
In middle school. Yeah. Unless it's changed since the email last week.
5th through 8th grade concert, 7 o'clock.
You didn't go certain truck?
I'm sure it's cold out there.
You didn't weigh in on the convention.
Practice.
You were in the picture? You gonna go home and fix the trailer?
Name of that.
And she, that email.
Sick.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna do.